Hey, what's up? I'm going to talk about Defy tonight, my live thoughts from it as I saw it in Plymouth, Massachusetts. Yeah, this was a really good show. Even though the attendance was down from Tag Title Classic 2, which was kind of disappointing. They set everyone up really well, so for where they had everyone sat in the little balcony, it looked full. But yeah, it was still kind of disappointing. I know a lot of people don't want to take the drive because it's in Plymouth and driving there on Friday rush hour traffic sucks, but I've gone to every show myself so far, and I've been pretty pleased, and tonight was no exception. And yeah, so I'm just going to get off with it. Yeah, so first I'm gonna talk about the dark match. There was only one tonight, and usually they do like 2 or 3, but this one was actually pretty fun. I enjoyed it. It was right leg Andy Ridge teaming up with Nick Westgate and two guys. I didn't recall their names, but yeah, this was actually a really fun match, and the crowd was really into it. And usually most dark matches I've seen, the crowd is kind of there, they're still off doing whatever, and they're really not too entertaining. But yeah, this one was very entertaining, decent amount of action, yeah, very fun. And yeah, so off to the main show. It started with Mike Bennett and Brutal Bob Evans come out. I actually thought they were going to start the TV title match there, but that didn't turn out to be the case. Bennett just basically came out with the microphone, cutting the promo, running down Steve Corino. Steve Corino came out and he was saying his thing, and then things broke down. But Steve Corino was able to get the better of the two of them and ran them off, and which brought out our first match, Kyle O'Reilly taking on Mark Briscoe. And this was a really good opener. Mark Briscoe was beating the shit out of Kyle O'Reilly with a lot of chops. Kyle O'Reilly just kept coming back with kicks, doing what he could. But in the end, the ROH veteran was too much for him, but definitely a very good opener. And Mark Briscoe is definitely a very good singles wrestler, and I don't think he gets enough credit for that, but I think he just keeps proving it every time that he gets put out in that situation. So yeah, next up we had Grizzly Redwood and Steve Corino taking on the All Night Express. This was another good match too, and for the most part, I was basically continuing the build on Steve Corino's wrestling rehab storyline, and but besides that, there was also a decent amount of good action. A lot of good tag teams on All Night Express's part as usual, and yeah, it definitely was entertaining and served its purpose. And so yeah, next up we had the Embassy coming out with Tommaso Ciampa. This is my first time seeing him myself. I haven't been up with ROH on Nation the last 3 weeks. I still got 3 episodes or so I got to watch, so I haven't caught him yet. But that it came out, cut a promo. And then eventually just brought out Adam Cole, and so yeah, we had him taking on Ciampa. This was a really good match. Besides the fact that Ciampa is kind of a big guy, and he definitely wrestles like a big guy. You also have the MC on the outside of the ring, and definitely that was working against Adam Cole. There was a lot of hope spots, and there was one part actually when Adam Cole got thrown outside, pretty much right in front of us, because we were first row. Mayim, I think her name is. She was out there with this like really skimpy dress. It was barely even like high enough to even cover anything. And she's wearing like I believe she was wearing like dress shoes or heels or something. And she just comes around with this spinning roundhouse kick right on Adam Cole and just connected pretty stiff with him. The crowd just went nuts because you just weren't expecting it, and it was really cool. Yeah, and I really liked Ciampa's finisher. It was just, it just looked sick seeing it, and yeah, it was definitely another entertaining match. And then next up we had Chris Hero versus T.J. Perkins, and this was a very good match too. basically the story going into this match was T.J. Perkins mat wrestling versus Chris Hero striking, and right away T.J. Perkins started with the mat wrestling, and Chris Hero obviously had no problems going hold for hold with him. You know, then eventually got more action-packed, a lot of stiff kicks, elbows, you know, just what you expect from these guys. And yeah, I really like this match. And the one thing I will notice throughout this match, Sarah Del Rey didn't seem like she was paying attention. Like, I don't know, like she wasn't interested in the match, and you know, when Chris would do a move every now and then, it was almost like she was like, oh, yay. I don't know if there's anything to that or what, lag from travel, or there's some kind of planting the seeds of some future storyline. I don't know, I guess we'll have to wait and see on that. So this brought us to intermission, and after intermission, the two Bravado brothers came out, and they came out dressed in their gear, and they basically got on the mic and, you know, doing their clueless heel shtick, and plus basically was saying how they traveled all the way to the show even though they didn't have a match. So, hey, sorry, cat dumb fuckery. So they were going to take a challenge from whoever wanted. So these two guys came out. Michael Taven was one of them. And I don't know who the other guy was. And, you know, this was a pretty solid match. You know, it wasn't anything special, but it was entertaining. And it was basically just enough to kind of get you going through after intermission. So it served its purpose. And, you know, I'm willing to say I'm on the Bravado bandwagon. I've kind of been on the bandwagon even before the bandwagon was even a thing. So that's cool. You know, I've always seen something, the two of the Bravados. And I definitely love their current gimmick. I think it works well. Yeah, so next up we had Eddie Edwards taking on Michael Elgin, and this was another very, very good match. Eddie Edwards has been on fire. I would say he would have been the most over guy at the show tonight, possibly. And I think it's just more than the fact that he's from the area also, but, you know, just because Eddie Edwards has improved so much over the last couple of years, and he's just on a roll. And I wouldn't be at all shocked if Eddie did win the belt tonight from Roddy at Manhattan Mayhem 4. Definitely would be someone that deserves it, and definitely right for the picking as far as that goes. But yeah, his match with Elgin was really good. Elgin's just a beast. I mean, just the shit that guy does, you know, it's unreal. He's not the biggest guy, but he wrestles like he's a real big guy, and he just has like a lot of steam behind him. There was one part where Eddie Edwards had both Elgin and Truth Martini in pretty much double Achilles lock, which is really cool. The crowd really liked that. So yeah, this was another very good match. Next we had the TV title match. Christopher Daniels taking on Mike Bennett. Yeah, this wasn't a bad match, actually. I was kind of not wanting to see this match originally, because I'm kind of one of those who doesn't really care for Bennett too much, or at least not that immense push that he's getting right now, because I just don't think he's up to the moniker and the push. But he definitely worked a solid match with Daniels, and you know, Brutal Bob, you know, took every chance that he could to try to help Bennett out. Sorry about that. So, yeah, but overall, Mike Bennett, you know, he worked a solid match with Christopher Daniels. There's definitely some good stuff in here. Mike, and, you know, if anything, Mike Bennett really knows how to work with the heel he did. He gets from the crowd, and, you know, he gets a lot. You know, and even, you know, in his home area, it's no different. He gets shit on him pretty good. But there was actually a few guys in the crowd who were actually hoping for him to win, and didn't happen. So, on to the next match. We had David Rich taking on Claudio Castagnoli, and this match itself could have been the main event, and I would have went home happy with that. I mean, these guys just beat the fucking shit out of each other throughout the whole match. I mean, what else can I say? There was one spot where they're both like on the top turnbuckle, and they appear to just like lose their balance and just fall off, and the crowd's kind of gasped at first because we didn't know if they were hurt, but they got up and continued to wrestle on with the match, and ton of near falls, which I guess a lot of people would expect from a David Richards match, but it worked great in this match. Claudio pulled up the UFO. That was my first time seeing that live, so that was cool. This was just a spectacular match. I would say it's match of the night. Definitely a match of the night. Awesome match. I mean, it just kind of burnt me out. Just kind of thinking that there's still like a main event to go. I didn't want to see anymore at that point. Because this match was so great. But so next we have the Defy Deny match, and this was actually a pretty good match. It started off kind of like a tag to like Roderick got on the stick and basically offered to work at Homicide. So Homicide cooperated for a little while, and eventually things broke down, and when they got a little more action, it was a really good match. And everyone was really stiff in this match. Generico was great. It actually at the end it came down to just Generico and Roderick Strong as the last two. And eventually at one point Michael Elgin came out when the ref was distracted with Truth Martini, I believe. And he just powerbombed the shit out of Generico. And then when Generico kind of like got up, he got sick kicked in the face, and he got pinned. So I'm not exactly 100% clear on how this match works. I guess whoever pinned Roderick would have a shot at the belt. And if Roderick won, I don't know if Roderick won, these three can't challenge him. I believe that's what it was, or the person he pinned. But so I had that stipulation, but it was a good elimination match. Not quite as good as the match before, but it was still a pretty good match. And after the match, they proceeded to beat down on El Generico, and then David Richards came out, Eddie Edwards, and a few other guys came out and chased off the House of Truth, and that's how we closed the show. Big 4-hour show, great show, and when it comes out on DVD, I definitely recommend checking it out. And for the next ROH show in Plymouth, which ain't till fucking September 16th, kind of don't want to wait that long, but whatever. What are you gonna do? We waited a year before we got Fade to Black, so I can handle September. And if anyone's watching this from Massachusetts, make it to the next show. We gotta fill that place out, get a pay-per-view. And that's about it. I'm Markman81, and I'm signing off. See you all later.